All right. Good morning, everyone. I so appreciate you all are online. Before I start the conversation, let me thank Science India Forum. I can't believe why these guys work. They always work for others for absolute no interest of their own, with only one interest of teachers getting better, humanity being alive, and students being exposed to best education systems ever. So great applause to first the Science India Forum for organizing this. I've been doing many online workshops, but this is one of the most organized workshops I have seen. Thanks to Nitin and very thanks to Sajid for organizing this. Uh, Sudhir sir, under your guidance, we all are doing this, so I appreciate your guidance as well. Thank you very much. A bigger thanks to all the teachers to be present today. I understand that these days we are more busy on Zoom than we are busy in the classrooms. We have meetings for good or bad reasons. Most of the times they are supposed to be productive. And I promise you one thing, end of this workshop, you must have at least learned or revisited or reignited the 7 values which we need to have today, especially in the times of where we are at home and we are moving from one change to another every hour probably. Most of us are Indians, so I would say we have a big boss in the house right now. We're locked down at our own home. We're living with each other. We haven't lived with our respective husbands, wives, and kids for 24 hours from last 20 years. And we have all 24 hours, 7 weeks with them now. It's not easy. People are getting little agitated. There are agreements, disagreements in the house, starting with vegetable, ending with food. Today we'll talk about your life. We'll talk about you being a teacher. And I feel privileged and blessed to have a conversation with you. I'm going to share my screen with you now to briefly talk about how this particular hour will be spent. I hope you all can see my screen now. At the same time, you can hear my audio. If you do, you can do thumbs up so I would know that things are going okay. Fantastic. I have some thumbs up. Lata has thumbs up. Smita has thumbs up. CG has thumbs up. Sheila has thumbs up. So I have a few thumbs up. So it's going okay. All right. We're going to talk about a philosophy briefly designed for this time. It is Orange Zebra philosophy. And the first and foremost principle I want to share with you is appreciating imperfections. We all, being 25 plus, I believe, have been constantly told that perfection is way of life. We need to have a perfect husband. We need to have a perfect wife. We need to be a perfect father, a perfect situation, perfect school, and a perfect student. And as experienced human beings, we all are aware, none of them are ever perfect. Starting with husband, wife to start with, ending with students in the classrooms and school to go with. Nothing is going to be perfect. Imperfect things are also beautiful. And the situation we are in today, although might sound imperfect, but believe me, 20 years later, this would have happened. Probably we will have schools which are only online. Probably we'll only have some contact hours in the future in the school. And if that is going to be a perfect situation for the future, this imperfection, let's embrace it. This imperfection of not being with the student is the best thing happened to us, which has given us fast forward button to become used to education of tomorrow. So is nothing wrong. It is a beautiful aspect. It just depends on how do we look at it. They always say this, diamonds are always analyzed on how many angles do they have. And all these angles are actually imperfect part of the diamond, which clearly means imperfections also make beautiful things even more beautiful. Imperfection is a perfection, depends only on where do you see from it. Let's embrace this imperfection. Let's accept this imperfection. Let's celebrate it. Because if you don't, you're impacting a generation. You're impacting an entire generation who is a part of tomorrow. And if I have a second of question mark on how will this be, students will have 1,000 more. So first point in this particular difficult time, to appreciate the imperfections which you have, which I have, which the students will have, and at this moment system is having. I'm sure most of us know the story, but quickly want to run through it. There was this person who used to deliver water from one place to other place, had 2 pots, one pot on right, one pot on left, had a stick on his shoulder. Most of the teachers know this. It's a reminder. The pot which had cracks actually was able to drip down water, and that side had beautiful grass and plants, also had flowers. The pot which was perfectly delivering everything wasn't dropping a drop of water. Below there was no grass. A lot of times in achieving perfection, teachers, what we lose is affection. Please remember, our jobs are all about affection. and perfection is just a small part of it. I see some people smiling. Miss Bindu has a smile. Sajid has a smile. Good to know that you acknowledge the fact that, I repeat again, in the process of achieving perfection, perfect relationship, perfect student, being a perfect teacher, perfect school, perfect principal, what you lose is a perfect affection in life, which carries a lot more load in longer run than just for that moment. So the first point is about appreciating imperfections. If it makes sense, if you could have thumbs up, right hand side down below your screen, you will see there's a reaction button. If you can give thumbs up, I can probably move ahead. If somebody needs an explanation, can unmute now. I could have a conversation, no problem. Under each step, we can have a conversation. Rachna has thumbs up. Smita has thumbs up. Brilliant. Miss Seema, Rijal has thumbs up. Nirud has thumbs up. Brilliant. So most of you have thumbs up. That means it does make little sense, and we want to move ahead to the second part, and which is probably as equal important as what we have for the imperfection, and that's about gratitude. Uh, Sounds very easy. My mother tried teaching me as well for 27, 28 years. She tried telling me one needs to have great gratitude. Never understood it. So I want to share how did gratitude happen to me, and you all will have your share of it, I'm very sure. 2010, went to Cambodia, went to stay in people's house just to understand life. That has taught me a lot more than a PhD. Went to a temple for a photograph. Went there, saw a lady, morning 4 o'clock, pitch dark. She was far away. She was heavily pregnant. It was pitch dark, could not see her, but could see a structure. She was begging money. She was begging money. And the only thing I could ask her is, what happened? This is 4 o'clock in the morning. Why is she begging, and where is her husband? I have many ladies in this room today. If I could ask what's the worst answer a woman can give living on Mother Earth like you, when she's being asked, where is her husband? Expected answers are, he passed away, he doesn't take care of me, he's in jail, he's with somebody else, and a lot more. The answer she gave me was, remember, she was pregnant and she had 3 kids, and she was begging. The answer she gave me was, I don't know. And when I asked her, what does that mean? She told me, I don't know because I am blind. That was a moment of truth. That clearly means only because she did not have eyes, she was exploited by all means. From that day, I have started appreciating my eyes, my thumb, my nail. I have a joint, I have a brain, it functions today. Gratitude is not optional. Gratitude is way of life. You are the most best lot of whole society. Your teachers. You're the most amazing people after medical doctors. Medical doctors treat one patient at one time. You treat several students at one time. You are the profession, which is the noble profession because you create generations. Today, Sajid in this room, it clearly means many teachers from the similar school which is helping today has taught him and made him what he is today. You not only impact us once, but you impact us several times. My teachers are still remembered today. You are remembered and you are in memory book of everybody. If you don't have gratitude towards your own life and what you have today, I don't think students can ever have it. You're the most important component of society. And we want to thank you from our side first and remind you, you're amazing. Just feeling gratitude per day is way of life. It says simply, gratitude turns our life into amazing place and tells us how much do we really have. Struggles actually end the moment we believe in gratitude. There are so many reasons to be happy. There's so many reasons to be happy. And one of them could be first you. Teachers, I'm sure you have gratitude in you. I'm just trying to do a restart button to the computer so it functions better and hibernation goes away. The second quality we wish you to have at this time is actually gratitude. If it makes sense, could we have thumbs up? We can take few questions if needed now. I'm not very fond of this style of you talk and someone just listens. I'm used to interactions, but my apologies in the imperfect situation. This is the best perfect sense we can make. And actually show gratitude towards Science India Forum for putting this 1 hour of ours more productive. I see thumbs up from many. I appreciate. Celia, are you able to hear? Celia, able to hear? Perfect. Perfect. Very crucial and very new, and this could be a new part to you. The third thing we want to explain is forgiveness, but this is not about forgiving others. This is about forgiving yourself first. I see a lot of sincere teachers calling me and asking me, Amey, I'm used to doing classroom training. I'm a fabulous teacher. Online class, I'm not able to do justice. I feel guilty that I'm not doing justice to my students in the class. Please remember, forgive yourself first. You're a teacher, you first forgive yourself. Guilt cannot be a part of your life because you are a component which transforms people's lives. You're already amazingly at that pedestal, high up there. Forgiving yourself is very, very important right now. Also, I'm going to go a step beyond the school. At home, teachers, there's the highest possibility people around you, your respective husband, your neighbor, your building management, your friends, your students may be unreasonable. You have no clue what psychological pressure most of us are going through because you know what is end of the tunnel. And that's something we all fear. People are going to react in not appropriate way. Students are not going to submit assignments on time. They're going to have concerns of completion. And one of the major reasons is this is life threatening right now. And if it is so, forgiveness is the best coin we can toss towards ourselves as well as towards the people around us. I repeat again, forgiving yourself is crucially important, but please forgive your husbands and wives as well, please. If they're teachers, even forgive them more on a lighter note because they're going through same stress like you. If they're corporate, they're sitting home today, not sure about being the job tomorrow. If they're kids, they're not sure whom will they play with tomorrow. So please remember, forgiveness is way of life again. First, forgive yourself for not able to do everything like you did before. Second, please forgive people around you, students, teachers, principals, communications, and a lot more. I see a lot of people smiling again. Good to see those smiles. Any principals in the room right now? Just as a curiosity. If you can do thumbs up. Principals in the room? Is Sheila a principal? I see one thumbs up. Fantastic. So shall I say that our
No, I'm teacher only.
Oh, fantastic. I just saw thumbs up, so I wasn't saying. So shall I say that our teachers are getting more techno-savvy than principals today? Is that what we're going to say? I just wanted to make you guys smile. Nothing else. Don't worry. I see biggest smile from Smita, Chanda. I see Sudha smiling. Fabulous. Nice to see. Fair. So we have finished 3 of them. We won't talk about 4 more and then have question answers too. How many people in this room feel if they would have been taller, they would have been happier? Please give me a thumbs up. By the way, I'm 5'4". So I'm going to give my thumbs up first. How many of us feel they would have been taller, they would have been happier? Fine. How many of us feel that Rachna has thumbs up, some people more have thumbs up, Seema has thumbs up? Fabulous. Some people honest. Santi has thumbs up. Fantastic. How many of us believe if we had a better passport, especially from some other progressive country, we would have been happier? Me, I have an Indian passport. A better passport would have a lot of hands up. I'm not going to name people now. A lot of hands up. Smita has only a smile. That's the only smile she has throughout. Fair. So a lot of thumbs up. Fantastic. How many of us feel, don't raise your hands because it could be crucial. We are recording it. How many of us feel that if you had a better life partner, life would have been a lot better? Kindly don't raise your hands. Just raise your hearts so you would know who has yes and no answer here. Loads of smiles in the room. Fabulous. Glad to see videos on. Okay, and last question. How many of us feel probably that, and I'm genuinely saying it, that if I would have had a better profession, I would have been happier? I think so. I should have been an astronaut, probably. Very few hands up. Fair. If your answer for any of the question is yes, my humble choice to you is, it's too late. It's too late. Now we have 2 options left. One is to be happy and second is to be happy. And third is to be happy and fourth is to be happy. Because the 4th quality we want to inculcate in you is positivity. Trust me, the parents you had are the best parents you actually had. Trust me, the school you went to is the best school you could go to. Trust me, the body that you have is the best body you could ever have. And trust me, the job that you have today is the best job you can have today. A lot of changes are required, may not be in the hardware, but in the software here. And I say this vocally, we only have 2 choices. To be happy with what we have today, or second choice is to be happy with what we have today. And third choice is to be happy with what we have today. There's actually no 4th option. And if needed is again, to be happy with what we have today. There's no other option. Wanting is great, but remember what we have, being happy in it is another quality, which in this particular time is crucially important. And in teacher's life is important too. So my question now, how many of us want to be taller? Please show me a thumbs up. Oh, wow. And people say online trainings won't work. You see, you still want to be taller. I want to have a conversation with you. You're not going to be. It's good to be accepting the way you are today and moving on and saying that, you know what, I'm amazing. I'm tall enough. If I need something, I have many things which can assist me. However, at this moment, what I have is what I have. How many of us want a better passport till now? Okay. At least progressively on a prima facie, nobody is raising a thumbs up. And they say online trainings don't work, you see. So it's just in perspective. It's in perspective to share. What we have is great. It is a choice that we make to be happy or to be unhappy. I can be unhappy for every possible reason. Or in traffic jam, I can be happy with listening to my music. In quarantine, I can be happiest to follow a dream I want to follow, to know my partner well. In quarantine, I can do all the pedagogical studies online, which are a lot of on websites free. If you leave this quarantine without additional skill, without a strong relationship, and without a positive mind, we have not followed discipline. We have not followed positivity. So this is a great opportunity right now to actually do what you wish to do. Positivity always works, and always is spelled as ALWAYS, capital 36 bold underlined. It has never failed. So it is our choice that we actually make, whether we want to do it or not want to do it. When you can't find the sunshine, if you don't find a positive person around you, the best choice left with you is to be the sunshine. I repeat again, if you don't find positive people around you, if you don't find people are supportive to what you do, you want to do a lot of things, but no one seems to understand, you start it. You be the sunshine. Somebody might be inspired by you, and it is not difficult. One person makes sense. I would prefer the thumbs up if possible. So I have little interaction and know where our teachers are. Ladies having an early morning smile after cooking a meal and taking a class and still doing online learning is commendable. I see the smile when the kid is, you're pulling you from behind, want to still do his homework and his Zoom classes. And you have become now their teachers, I'm sure. All their teachers giving assignments to them, which you are completing, I know. Still having this enthusiasm, commendable. From my side as well, a thumbs up to you all. Fantastic. So we are going to the next one now, and now we are left with two. And this is probably the most one, regardless of quarantine. And this is called as self-belief. Today I'm doing coaching conversations for several principals, several corporates, directors, and organization heads. And everybody has one important question. Will I be able to sustain? Will I be able to get this? Do I have a skill set for tomorrow? Will I have a job tomorrow? Will I have everything stable around me, what I have today? So any change has 4 stages. And the first stage is denial. So anything what comes to me today, and if someone says this message, I'm just sharing a message, I'm not making a statement, that this will be the way of education forever. How many of us believe it is going to be forever? This is the way you would teach. Probably you will never step inside a school. Anybody agrees? Please raise your thumb. Smita has a smile. I cannot miss it. Nobody believes. Okay, I'm glad someone said yes, that this is. All right. The first stage we are at right now, probably, I'm just giving an example, is denial. Is denial, where we are going to say, no, it's not going to work. Education doesn't mean this. I'm not saying it would happen, but any change around us, the first psychological state we go through is denial. You imagine you get to know somebody very close to you has got a particular issue, and the first thing you say is, no, it's not possible to my dad. It's not possible to my mother. My son, no, it's not possible. First stage is denial. In psychology, the second stage is probably acknowledgement. You acknowledge it. Yeah, probably. Let me check. Let me verify. Maybe. Let me see. So the movement has happened from no to maybe. That's acknowledgement. A third stage human goes through is acceptance. You accept saying that, yeah, fine, this is it. Now let me see what I could do. And last stage is appreciation. So normal cycle of a human being for any big change happening around, First is denial. The second is acknowledgement. Third is acceptance. And fourth is appreciation. Most of us are on the stage of acknowledgement now. Yeah, something is happening. I really don't know it yet. I'm not denying online doesn't work, but it will not be as effective as my classroom. If you believe so, please raise your hand, a thumbs up. What I'm asking is, online works, definitely works, but not as effective as my classroom. No, I believe so as well. Till now, I have also not gone to a stage of appreciation. For me, not to see smiling faces, for me, not to see human beings with me, it is tough. It is very, very tough. 50 people at one time, I can only see 6 people at one go. So I have to go scroll and go back. However, do I have an option? Answer is no. I will have to move from acknowledgement to acceptance to appreciation. Use a better platform, use something else, check what you can do. Maybe sync a WhatsApp group with this. Maybe do a chatting on that and talk here. We have to create our own mechanism around it. But this is the reality. And I promise you, fast forward, 20 years later, our kids will not go to school. They will educate like this only. It's great that we are exposed to it now. Yeah, that was self-belief. Best outfit a teacher can wear every day is self-belief. I repeat again, best outfit is not maybe sari or a skirt or a dress, but the best outfit is self-belief. Bindu, I've seen your smile. Sudha, I've seen your smile. It's the best outfit. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot inspire a crowd, which is tomorrow's prime minister, which is tomorrow's scientist, which is tomorrow's leading the world. So if you don't have a self-belief, it's difficult to inspire people. Self-belief is a foundation, we strongly believe, for every success and celebration. Nobody has been successful in the world if they were not sure about themselves. If you're an introvert, if you're an extrovert, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're one nationality or second nationality, if you're well educated or just educated, if you're greatly blessed or less blessed, if you have a self-belief, that is the first step towards success. From you being teacher to a principal or teacher to a HOD or teacher to be a happier teacher on any journey you wish to take. The self-belief would be a crucial part. When you doubt your power, I repeat this very strongly, when you doubt your power starts doubting you. So if you doubt your power of being a teacher who can influence people's life and make their life amazing, the power will start doubting you, which you already have it in you. So it's your choice again, which you need to make. Trust me, teachers, everything happens twice. It's our favorite statement, favorite dialogue. Everything happens twice. Once in mind and once in reality. Everything happens twice. Once in mind, once in reality. That best teachers award in the world, if you haven't got in your dream, if that best teachers award you haven't had in your mind, if that best schools award you haven't dreamt of, you can never have it. You can never have it. So it depends on whether I think and I believe in it and make it happen, or do I question and keep questioning myself. If you believe in you, the second person has a reason to believe you. If you don't believe in you, most of us have reason not to believe you. So I repeat, because being a teacher, this is even more crucial, because people come to you with one belief, that you are amazing. More spontaneity is one of them. Most of the teachers are very structured. Ask me, lesson plans, learning outcomes, Bloom's taxonomy, the pedagogical concepts, classroom management, the class discipline, and the punitive assessments, so on and so forth. Your audio visuals, which are being planned in advance, everything is based on a plan. And the plan doesn't go correct, then sometimes we fumble. Today is the time of spontaneity. There are going to be so many things in online session. I never planned to make you smile. It just happened today. Spontaneous looking at Bindu's smile. It was a choice that I made. I said, let me make people smile by asking questions. You will have to make changes on the spot. You will have to be spontaneous with the students who are online. You may have to design based on who is in my class. Sometimes for years, we have had lesson plans, a presentation. You have gone, done it and come back. That's the reality. Today it's not going to work. Today it has to be tailor-made. When I see somebody not being engaged, not naming people, but going to them, just saying hi, involving them by taking their name, making a personalized conversation would be very, very crucial. We are dealing with kids right now, and please remember, these kids have far more. I repeat again, the kids have far more spontaneity than you and me. They're very spontaneous. They deal with things today, right now, in present. Spontaneity is being present in present. That's exactly spontaneity means. Living this moment for right now, this particular hour. And if we can do that, I think we are leading towards a better success than what we had in the past, especially in this scenario. We have 49 people, yeah, great. Can any one person unmute themselves and tell me how many qualities we have finished so that I can probably get more energy to do the next one which is left. Sudha, I will unmute you. 1 second.
6.
Sudha?
6.
I can I unmute her, please, Nitin? Or can you unmute her, please? Sudha?
Yeah.
Is she unmute?
No, wait, she has to unmute it from her end, I believe.
Miss Sudha Nasser, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Ma'am, which are the 6 qualities we have finished till now?
6.
6. Ma'am, which are those?
Appreciating imperfections, gratitude, then
Fabulous.
forgiveness, positivity,
Fabulous.
then self-belief, spontaneity,
Spontaneity.
and the last one is spontaneity.
Correct. If you can give a round of applause by going on reaction, this option called as clapping. If you can please clap for her. We teach students to appreciate each other. It's our time now. Fantastic. Fantastic. Is there any one person who can tell me? I will tell you the last one, which is the important one. I'm going to come there, total of 7. But can any one person tell me what does imperfection really mean and what could we do better? Any one person can unmute so I can raise your hand so I can help them put the spotlight on. Who's that? Oh, Bindu, you said you will explain first part? Okay, let's go ahead.
Morning, all of you. I'm Bindu, and imperfection is itself is the perfection. So everyone will be having some imperfect deeds in them, and that we can work upon, and we can believe that, and we can work on that. That
Fabulous.
Believing that is the perfect thing.
Perfect. So let me ask a few questions. Who are going to be imperfect around you? Can you name me some relationships which are imperfect right now because of the present situation? Principal. Oh, sorry. The HOD, you, respective life partner, a student, a child, it could be anybody. Yeah, it could be anybody. But giving that extra time for them because you appreciate the imperfection is probably the key. Thank you, Bindu. We're going to second one just for understanding it better. The second quality which we discussed was gratitude. Rachna, would you like to explain that? Put on spotlight. I put your spotlight, Rachna.
Sorry, could you please repeat? I didn't hear that.
No problem, Rachna. I'm asking you, could you just explain gratitude, what it means for teacher right now, which is explained if you can brief us, and wherever you stop, no problem. I will join you.
Gratitude is thanking everyone and everything in your life, what is happening. For the example, for the example of the eyes, what you gave, we have to thank everyone in our life and day to day, people who help us, people who are there doing things for us, we doing them things for the others. That should be a part and a way of life for all.
That's so kind of him to explain. Good people clap for each other. Here we go. Oh, perfect. I like Science India Forum clapping. Others are joining them right now. That's fantastic. Everybody's clapping there for you, Rachna. Yeah, that's the virtual clap. Best clap they can give to you. Perfect. We spoke about third quality, which was being forgiveness, which had 2 components: output, Pooja, Thakur, and spotlight. Pooja, could you start the video? That's the way you check on students. Perfect. And if you can please also put the audio on, Pooja ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, everyone.
Yes,
so for me, it is forgiveness, right? Forgiveness, yes. Whatever you are having, you just forgive that. What situation we are facing right now, we should also forgive to God as well, because this is the time for the God to just earth give the time to rejuvenate itself, right? So we should be thankful to everything, and whatever we are getting, instead of sarcastic or instead of going bad, So always go for the forgiveness. That is the one of the best thing we can do for others as well as for ourselves. That's it.
Fantastic. Just want to add a point here. I want to share that I think forgiveness also means what you've explained today is you have to forgive yourself as well. Not necessarily that you feel that you're not able to make a difference in the class because it's just online. Forgive yourself. It's okay. You're doing your best and just put the next notch next day. And also like ma'am clearly explained about forgiving others. God part was interesting. I don't know if I agree with that, but then it's good to have perspective. Good to have perspective there. Yeah. The next one we spoke about is positivity. Is anybody in the room who would like to explain what positivity really
I would like to speak on positivity.
Man, who is online? What's the name, sir?
Deepa.
Ma'am, if you can put the video on, would that be okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Deepa. I'm putting you on spotlight. Give me a second. Perfect. Everybody's watching you now. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. For me, I would give it as my example for where this positivity acts as a very big. The thing is like far away from home right now. My family members all back in India, and I'm alone with my school accommodation. We are all placed over here. So when this coronavirus thing just happened to us out here, the outbreak, it was it came as a shock for me that I cannot travel back home to my family. So for me, staying back here was a very big, you could say, I couldn't get out of it. So then today when I stay back here, I think it was positive enough for me to stay back and learn something new. At this age, to accept an online learning and teaching and going ahead with an online lesson for my school children from tomorrow onwards, it's a big example and it's being positive in my life today.
I appreciate that. From anyways, you look very young. 25 plus is a very young age to start with. Let's look at it like that. It's good to stop at 25.
Thank you so much.
And I want to also remind everyone once again that we actually have only two options. One is to be happy and second is, ma'am, to be happy. And third is to be happy and fourth is to be happy. On a fifth option is to be happy. There's no other option at all left. That's the only option one should carry when you go ahead. You can clap for now, Deepa and me together if you want to. So we can see that actually you guys are clapping for all of us. And we're having a great interaction online. Fantastic. Ms. Deepa, keep that smile up. And trust me, everything happens for a good reason. You're here for an amazing reason. We wouldn't have met you, you see. You would have been home. So there's a great reason for us to meet you.
I actually thank Bindu ma'am to get me into this platform. It's been a year I've come to Abu Dhabi right now, and it was the first session that we had. She got me there and I met you there for the first time, though I could not interact with you personally. This is my second session with you, sir, now.
Grateful, madam. Very, very grateful.
Thank you so much.
With pleasure. Anybody wants to explain the self-belief, please? So I can go on the seventh one, which is also a very crucial one. Self-belief, anyone who can explain me? Seema Sapra raised hand. Seema Sapra, if you can have focus on her, please. Miss Seema Sapra, if I'm pronouncing it right. Seema Sapra ji, ma'am, do the unmute, please. Left hand side down, you will see a button called as mute unmute. You can click on that.
Can you hear me?
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Self-belief is one thing, because without self-belief, you cannot do anything in life. Like for online training also, like without self-belief that we can do it today, because we see that children are more advanced than us in the present scenario. And learning technology also was a great challenge. But very honestly saying, that technology is itself teaching us how to use it nowadays. So it's a belief that we can do it.
I think very, very, very smart. I so agree with you. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Let's have a claps for her so that she feels that entire class is clapping for her. And the last part we spoke about was spontaneity, and we'll go to one more, I promise you. And we'll finish session on time. Nitin, don't worry. At 10 o'clock, we should be, 11 o'clock, we'll be done.
No worries at all, doctor.
Spontaneity, anybody in the room who could explain us briefly, needed by a teacher? Smita, of course, we can't miss her. Smita, go ahead, just unmute yourself. Smita, go on the left hand side and just.
Yeah, I could see. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Smita.
Good morning, and I would like to thank Mr. Harish to join us, and I could coordinate 4 of our teachers from my school. Now, regarding spontaneity, I would like to talk. Last day we had a trial run. We could have a talk with the students of grade 5. There I could see parents sitting and keeping their kids on the lap and supporting them. what I could do is I could give parents the confidence that leave the children alone. We will manage. So that was the experience that I could share.
So what you're trying to say here is it was not a plan to tell this in the class.
Yeah. Spontaneously, at that point, what action you were supposed to take. You have to give confidence to the parents out there that teachers are there to manage and they need not worry about their kids when they are online.
Fantastic. Let's clap for Smita ma'am together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fabulous thought. We so agree. We're going to go to the 7th one now. I have done several online classes and I don't say this to all my classes. I like this class because everybody is so interactive. Everybody seems to reply. I've seen teachers being good students actually making notes, which is very, very nice to see. And actually most of the answers are close to what we expected. So thank you for interaction. The 7th thing in which we believe now, one of the foundation which a teacher needs to have is storytelling. Is actually storytelling. It has become very different than before. Today, biggest websites in the world dealing with the corporates around, number one quality they expect from a CEO or a COO is not financial acumen, but actually storytelling. What does the storytelling mean in the corporate world to the school world is nothing different. It just means somebody who can effectively translate the idea into message, deliver the message, and make sure the receiver has received the message in the best possible way they want to receive. Now, audience is more important than a teacher today, even a lot more important because of the technology. Before we were having, and we all called it as a student-centric approach. Am I correct? If you had a student-centric approach, please raise your thumb up so I know that in the past you have done it. And I will ask questions to some people on my screen whom I can see right now. It is Sudha, Sirlia, Jayanti ma'am, Bindu ma'am, Bini ma'am, and Abga Ravindran sir. If you can just tell me by thumbs up, we said student-centric. Who decided the syllabus? We. We said student-centric. Who decided the classroom? We. Sometimes in classroom, who should sit where, who decides? We. We don't even let them sit where they want. We tell them, you sit here, you sit there. Yeah. We talk about student-centric. Who decides the lesson plan? We. We talk about student-centric. Who decides the punishments? We. We are student-centric. Who decides the exact marks? We. Where is student centricity? We had it. We had it. We had a focus somewhere. And I'm sure it is there in some other way. We understand our learning styles of students now. We at least try to make some changes there. But it's completely teacher-centric education that we had. If you realize it now, a lot of focus is going to a student now. You will realize it now when a student comes online, he actually has a chance of switching you off. He actually has a chance of, if you don't really interest him, you can say my video wasn't working. He actually has a chance of saying that this teacher does not use technology. I don't understand her. Can talk to parent in milliseconds after you're talking over here. Is shifting. The focus actually shifting to the part where it should have been ideally. And that makes our job even more challenging. So if I'm not able to narrate what I really want to say in the best possible way they want to hear, not what I want to talk, it's going to be difficult for two people to connect. And you're connecting with 80, 60, 50 people in the classroom right now. So 7th and one of the crucial ones we believe what we need to have right now or probably forever now is storytelling. Storytelling is extremely crucial component of our job now because you cannot understand the audience reaction. You cannot touch and feel. You cannot make your eyes big and make them sit down anymore. You really cannot do anything of that. You have to just make sure that you're doing well from your side. And communication involves two components. One component is taken away now. Only you can talk majorly. And that means you have to be as effective as or more effective than ever. I'll tell you funny incidents. After I was talking online for a session day before yesterday, I realized that everybody was online and everybody is smiling. Because from last 2-3 minutes, my audio was off. And they were only looking at a nice mime or a nice somebody's talking with a lot of animation. And no one told me that my actual audio was off. Look at that. Yeah, so it is, you need to be more effective. You need to take charge of your session. You need to be more effective in every word that you say. You need to plan even more. It shouldn't look like you're reading. I'll tell you. I have my few notes here, you see. The moment I shift my eye 1 second, you know I'm reading. You definitely know I'm reading. In the classroom, it goes away because there's so many eyes on you. But here you are center of attraction now. There is no blackboard. There is nobody else they're looking at. They're not doing this to their fellow student. They're just concentrating on you. So storytelling becomes the most crucial part. Stories are memory aids. We believe stories are memory aids, instructional manuals, and actually the moral companions of theirs. They remain with them forever. So I would recommend to transform the methodology into more form of storytelling than just a conversation or a one-way communication, which could make them more interested into what you do. And your job is definitely very noble, and that's teaching. If it makes sense, if you can raise your hands, so we can go to the last part of conversation. Let's do a fun one as well. How many of you feel I should speak slower than this? Please put your thumbs up. My speed should be lesser. Please put the thumbs up. So it helps me for the next session. Nobody's honest in this room. Oh, somebody is. I'm glad. Somebody is raising hands. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm glad that I speak very, very fast. Okay, how many of you feel that the Science India Forum on left-hand side logo looks amazing? Everybody's supposed to say thumbs up now. That's a very captivating question that we have, because they have organized this session for you. Fair. Okay, fantastic. That actually thanks goes to Nitin and Sajid. They made sure logo comes there. And how many of you feel that online learning after today's session is actually fun and it's not just one-way communication? And that's not captivating question. It's your choice. If you feel so, you can please raise your hand. So I keep the percentage. How many felt that it went okay? All right. I'm going to keep the floor open now for question answers. We have 10 minutes. Anybody has questions, please. You put thumbs up. I'm sure Nitin can unmute them and we could have a question. If you don't have it, I will have something else to share. Generally, no question is a sign of I want to have breakfast or lunch, or rather I am like great and done. Please close the class 10 minutes early is better. Or the sign is you were just fabulously amazing. I got everything. The second part is a little difficult because some of you have not met me before. So I have a few questions. Lata ma'am, you have a question. We'll go with Lata ma'am. Lata ma'am, if you can unmute yourself. Left hand side down, ma'am.
Left hand. Yes.
I can hear you, ma'am. Go ahead. Everybody can see you now.
Good morning once more. Dr. Amaya, I would like you to, it's a request. Can you just repeat the first one beautiful quote you said about perfect teaching with reflective the perfection of affection, something like that it goes. I would like to hear it once more from you.
With pleasure. I will put myself on spotlight so I feel important. Perfect. I'm there.
Thank you.
No problem. Ma'am, what I wanted to say was, if I give you my own example, relationships that we have, friendship, let's consider I have a friend. I want that to be perfect friendship. And I strive for it. What happens is, in the process of achieving perfection, I strongly believe most of us lose affection. The amount of care, love, what the person is showing, I really don't care. What I care is he perfect as per the norms that I have? And the person is not. Then that becomes an imperfection relationship. Imperfections are so beautiful. It is so beautiful to be imperfect. If we all will be perfect, we'll have Ferraris on the road, no other car. That's the perfect car we have. Yeah, but some people like different cars. They might sound or look imperfect, but they're perfect for many. So if I repeat again, imperfections are beautiful. It's an important part of life. And I wish all our children are taught today, imperfection is beautiful. Many kids lead to those unpleasant situations in life only because they wanted perfect marks, perfect teacher, perfect mom and dad, and they do whatever they do ahead. I don't wish to name situations. They're not very pleasant. So if you make them realize imperfection is beautiful, let's find in this imperfection what is amazing for you. It can be a good approach for teachers, parents, students, all of them. Thank you for asking, Lata ma'am. I hope I answered.
Thank you so much for your wonderful explanation.
Thank you. Maria ma'am has a question. She wrote to me in the window. I think she's taking advantage because she knows me. Yes, Maria ma'am. Merlin ma'am. Is she even there in the
Good
class?
morning. Yes.
Yeah, she's there. Perfect. We would like to see you, ma'am. Your video, please.
Okay.
Here she goes. Perfect. Ma'am, what's your question?
I would like to know what you exactly meant by storytelling.
Okay, perfect. I will try. I was certainly not effective, so I need to make sure that I do this better. No worries. Storytelling actually meant the definition of storytelling in the classroom is very different than what is right now. The control of storytelling from the movement to a face to a tone was completely with us when we were not online. But now storytelling actually means even if I'm explaining a science experiment online, which will happen in the future. So I have my neighbor's kids today coming to me with a cotton ball and with a stone and asking me to give them some water. They want to check which one goes in water faster. That's the experiment the teachers have told them to do. They have to do it at home now. Yeah. This could have been explained better if they were sitting in front of me when I show them things. Now it has changed. Now they have to imagine and I have to make sure I make them imagine correctly. So the translation of your thoughts to your message today requires a lot more effort than before. That's what exactly I meant by storytelling. The second thing I meant by storytelling is it is important to know you won't have reactions. So I will strongly recommend teachers do a rehearsal sessions before you go online. Make your husband, respective wife compulsorily sit down and do a rehearsal session. And they will tell you, did they get it or no? And if they don't get it, we haven't told our story about our subject effectively. Yeah, so this is what I briefly meant by storytelling. One thing which I emphasize on storytelling was, Malin ma'am, I spoke about stories can be a great memory aid. And you know, I'm reading now. They can be a great instructional manual and they can be moral companions of students forever. I still remember 8th standard, my English teacher told me one story. It is with me. It's my companion. It stays with me forever. So I don't mean story. I mean the way she explained the concept is still with me because she was an effective storyteller. I hope, Malin ma'am, I have answered your question and you have a nice curtain behind and I don't know why you're at work. You should be home. I will talk to Amol. I'll tell him. No mind.
Thank
Is
you.
there any question anybody has, or we are very close to the timing? We have 3-4 minutes left. Perfect. So I'll probably wind up the workshop with my a few thoughts at the end. These 7 things we thought, my organizer's name is Orange Zebra. We thought we want to do this for every industry. We're doing these workshops for different people from different parts of life, different walks of life today. The 7 components we felt which were crucially important for anybody's life were, just go to them. Can my screen be seen, Nitin? Perfect. These were the 7 qualities we thought that we all could work on, starting with self-belief, appreciating imperfections, forgiveness, positivity, gratitude, storytelling, and spontaneity. These were 7 components. We believe if we can even make one teacher do one thing differently today, we have met our objective. We want to make a difference in your life because you're the most important part of society which creates generation. My name is Dr. Ameya. I am the Chief Learning Officer of Orange Zebras, and I'm very, very grateful to Science India Forum, each teacher and each principal who made them come here today for this class. With pleasure, guys. You have a good day and God bless. Thank you.
Thanks to Science India Forum.